This conference will now be recorded.
Okay guys, let's get started. So in today's session, we are going to install Wsus for patch deployment. Wsus is required to install, Microsoft is releasing updates on second Tuesday of every month. So in order to deploy updates and integrate WSUS into SCCM, we have to install first WSUS on SCCM server. Then the second thing is we have to extend the schema of Active Directory, and we need to create system management container, and we have to grant full permission on that container to SCCM server. We will take a snapshot, and then we will install SCCM primary site server. So for step by step, we will explain and perform all the tasks. Okay, so first thing is we have to install WSUS. Now WSUS is for synchronization of update from Microsoft server into that WSUS, and from there you can deploy updates to all the computers. So I'm gonna make this guy James as a presenter, and then we'll do these steps one by one. James, I made you presenter. Okay, give me control, James. Now, where is that notepad which we opened yesterday? We were typing the okay, that's okay. If you are not able to find it, that's okay. Give me control. So today, what we are gonna do is the first thing first. Point number one is we need to install WSUS on SCCM PS server for patch deployment. So we need to install WSUS so that we can deploy patches to all the computers. Okay, so to install WSUS, let's connect to. So looks like they are not started. James, looks like you have not started them, or what? Let me just go back. Okay, so in order to start these computers, you just have to check all these boxes and click on start and click on yes. Okay, so yeah, you did not start, James.
Yeah, I did not check the boxes.
Okay, without checking the boxes, how will you start? First
Yeah.
you have to check all
Check.
these boxes, and then you need to click on start, so that all these computers are getting started
Start.
now. So first thing is WSUS installation. So on SCCM server. So let's go to, I think within few seconds we will be able to connect to these computers. Okay, so let's try connecting to these servers. Right click on SCCM lab and choose connect group. and I hope they will get connected. Yes, I see the domain and SCCM is logged in, and database as well. Now what we do, we always, when we connect the computer first time in the morning, what we do, we restart these computers, because what I have noticed that when you don't restart the computer, the performance will, it will not give you a good performance. So make sure you restart the computer once when you start the computer.
Okay.
It won't take much time, within like 2 minutes, these servers will be up and running, and they will give you good performance. Okay. So I just restarted database, domain, and SCCM. Now let's connect back. So right click and connect group. Let's wait for a few more seconds. Okay, so finally we got connected to all the computers. So first thing first, what we have to do in order to install Wsus on SCCM PS server, so we go to SCCM PS and we create one folder in C drive. We need one folder in C drive. So I'm going to create one folder called source, and inside that folder I'm going to create another folder called Wsus content. So in this folder I'm going to save the content, Wsus content, when it downloads updates from internet. So we will be downloading updates here. So let's go to add roles and features, and we go next, 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 and the last option in this list, Wsus Windows Server Update Services, and choose add feature, and then next, next, next. And Wsus needs a database, so either you choose internal database or the SQL database. So I'm gonna use the SQL database, so uncheck the first one, which is internal database, and choose the last option, that is the SQL database. I'm gonna choose that one and then go next, and we have to give the location where the content will be saved. So this is the location: C drive, source, Wsus content. Next, and it needs a database server name to store the data. So the database server name is what? database.lab.com, and choose check connection. So it's gonna save, create a database in this server, and I'm gonna go next and install. So WSUS is now getting installed. Now the second point what we have to do is enable WSUS service. So after a few minutes you will see there will be a service called WSUS service, and that will be in disabled mode. We have to enable that one, and enable WSUS service and launch the post configuration for WSUS. So we will click on that launch post configuration so that it will configure the website and the database itself. So we have to wait for a few more seconds for WSUS installation. Almost there, and we will have one service in this computer, services.msc. So down at the bottom you will see WSUS service. Not now because the installation is still going on. You'll have to wait for a few more seconds, and then you will see WSUS service right here. You see it is installed now, so I'm going to click on close. And in this list of services, if I refresh on the top, I should be able to see WSUS service down at the bottom, because it just created one service. As you see, this is the one, the last one, but that is disabled. So we have to enable that one. Double click on that and choose automatic and apply and OK. That's it. So we have enabled that one. Now the second task is we have to configure the WSUS. So let's click on this yellow icon on the top and choose launch post installation task. So it will configure WSUS database plus the website. Okay, so that is the point number 2. Now point number 3 is we need to create a system management container. Why do we need a container in Active Directory? Let me just share my screen and show you guys step by step. Now we need to create a container in Active Directory. So currently we have what? We have domain controller, and inside domain controller we have Active Directory, right? Active Directory contains the information about computer, user. It has many containers and organizational unit. Similarly, we will create one container here, and the name of that container will be system management. Now this container will keep all SCCM related information, because SCCM server will dump information here on this container. So the benefit of this, that if you have like thousands and thousands of systems and they are domain joined computers, right? So they can read this container and get SCCM related information. They will know the SCCM server name, they will know the SCCM site code, they will know the SCCM location, All those details will be present in this container, and these computer will get all SCCM related information because all of them are domain joined computers. Clear, everyone? Vikash, James,
Yeah.
any question?
No.
So what we have to do, first thing first, we need to create a container. That's the first thing. We need to create a container called SCCM system management. And the second thing, SCCM needs full permission on that container, because if you don't give permission, then SCCM server will not be able to write data on that container. So we need to grant full permission to SCCM server on that container. So let's do that. I'm gonna make you presenter again. Oh, I was not sharing my screen, guys. Wait,
Not
let
yet.
me. Oh, sorry, guys. Let me just share my screen and explain you again. I thought I was sharing my screen. Now, what we discussed, that we have a domain controller at the moment, and in domain controller we have Active Directory. Okay. So in Active Directory, there are containers and organizational unit like user container. Another container is like computer container, right? Similarly, we need to create one container called
OU.
system. No, not OU. This will be a container.
Okay.
System management. Now this system management container, uh, SCCM, this is for SCCM. SCCM server will have full permission on that container, so that it will write all SCCM related information in this container. So if you
Oh,
have like thousands and thousands of computers, and all of them are domain joined computers, right? Let's say there are 20,000 computers, and these are domain joined computers. They will get information about SCCM server, site code, site details, boundaries, management point, distribution point, all of them. They can read this container and get all these information back here. Okay.
okay. Yeah. No.
So first thing first is we need to create a container in Active Directory. And the second thing is SCCM needs full permission on that container. Understood?
Yeah.
So it's like advertising. We are advertising information of SCCM into Active Directory so that all computers will know the information. We don't have to manually supply those information to devices. Okay. So I'm gonna make you presenter again, and we'll create container, and SCCM server will have full permission on that container.
Okay.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, to create container in Active Directory, what do? We go to domain controller, because Active Directory is present in domain controller. And on domain controller, we go to tools, and inside tools, we have ADSI edit, Active Directory Services Interface. This tool will help you to create container in Active Directory. Right click and choose connect to, and click on OK. Now this is the this is connected to Active Directory LDAP service, and we need to create a container. CN means container, OU means organization unit. So there is a container called system. Inside system, we will create another container called system management. So let's click on new and choose object and choose container in this list, and click on next. The name of the container will be SYSTEM MANAGEMENT. This is case sensitive, guys, so make sure you type in exactly as it is. System space management. Next, finish. So we created a container in Active Directory. So now click on tools and choose Active Directory user and computers, and you will be able to see that container in Active Directory. If I just click on view and choose advanced feature and expand this system, you see system management container right here. So we created the container from ADSI edit, and now the container is showing right here. All good?
Yeah.
So on this container, who will be writing the data inside this container? Guys, who will be
Client
writing the
system,
data inside? Huh?
client system information, I think, will be
No.
And the
SCCM
SCCM,
server.
SCCM server.
Right.
SCCM server, yeah.
SCCM.
The SCCM server, whatever the servers you have, let's say primary side, secondary side, central administration side, all those sites will need full permission on this container so that they can write information here. So right click and choose delegate control. Next, add and object types and choose computers and click OK and type in the name of the server. What is the name of the server? SCCM PS.
CPS.
Yes, yes,
Check name and click OK. So this guy will have read and write permission. We will have to give that one. Next, and choose create a custom task to delegate. Next, and give full control. In the permission, we give full control, and next, and finish. Now SCCM server can read, write, delete, modify the content inside this container. Okay, so that's done. So let me just open Notepad and type in the steps what we did. We need to create container, and that is system management in Active Directory. That is done. Point number 4, SCCM PS server needs full control on that container. That is also done. So we have completed all these point number 1 to 4. We have completed all these tasks. Point number 5, we need to extend Active Directory schema. What is a schema? Anyone knows about schema, guys?
diagram.
Yeah, I think.
Right.
It is a group of objects and the related attributes.
Right, the classes and attributes, right?
Classes and attributes.
Is
So
the
currently, yeah, let me just share my screen and show you what we are gonna do now. I hope you guys can see my screen, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
Active Directory schema. Schema is nothing but a group of classes and tables. So currently the schema what we have, and that is a default schema. Default
Schema.
default schema. So the classes and attributes are like this. So let's say user is a class, and the attribute of user is what? Can anyone tell me what is the attribute of user?
Their passwords or
Right, their first name,
first name,
last name, their user ID, their password, right? Their office location, title, phone number, right, etc. These are user attribute. Similarly, the system attribute, suppose this is system, and the attribute of system is what? System name, operating system installed on that one, then OS install date and install date, right? Last logon, right?
user
Domain.
detail.
Yeah, so these are what? These are
System.
system class and attributes information. Now we have to create currently there is no classes and attributes in Active Directory which has SCCM class and SCCM attributes. SCCM related classes and attributes, we have to add that one. So we will add SCCM related. So these will be SCCM class and attribute, so that these will contain information about SCCM. Understood? In Active Directory. So the moment you add any new class and attribute, we call it extension of a schema, because we extended, right? Previously it was default schema, then we added this one, so that is called extension of a schema. Understood?
Yeah.
So
What are
let's
the
do that.
examples of hello?
Yes,
Hello. What are the examples of SCCM classes and attributes?
I'll show you. Like site code, site boundary, right? Management point information. So there are 4 classes, and there are like 10 or 12 attributes we are going to add. I'll show you what are the examples. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna make you presenter again, James.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, and I'm gonna give you one link. You have to download that one to extend the schema of Active Directory. Let me just give you that link. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the link again on this chat window, just like I did yesterday.
Okay.
You need to click on that link when you get that. Just click on that. Wait, just leave it. Now, this is the link where we have the executable, the file. So I'm going to copy that link and go to domain controller, because we have to download this on domain controller. Right click on start and run and type in this. I'm going to give you the link on WhatsApp as well, so that you guys can keep it with you. Let me just do October. I have given that to you on WhatsApp as well. Now, so we need to download this on domain controller. The link which I have given, that is a small executable file which will help you to extend the schema of Active Directory. So it will add all the relevant classes and attributes which are related to SCCM. So I'm going to click on download and choose save and open folder. So we just downloaded the file ext adsch. Ext, that means extend, ad Active Directory, sch means the schema. So using this, it is gonna extend the schema of Active Directory. It will add all the SCCM related classes and attribute in the schema table. So let's right click on this and run as administrator, and that's it. So now to see what all classes and attributes it has added in the schema table, let's go to C drive, and there is a log file extend adsch, and I'll show you what all its attributes it has added. You see, these are the attributes it has added. There are somewhere around 12 or these 16 attributes, and it has added these 4 classes. These are the 4 classes. Clear, Vikas, James?
Yeah, it's clear.
So now Active Directory will be able to save site information, management point information, and other stuff. So that's done. Now let me just put the information in this. Okay, point number 5 is completed. Point number 6 is we need to download SCCM Installer. Okay, so let me give you the link to download SCCM Installer.
Is it someone? Did you send it?
Not yet. Wait, I'm sending now. I'm gonna send that to you on WhatsApp as well, so that you guys can keep that one for later purpose. Okay, I'm gonna send that. I just send that to you. Just click on that. Okay, fine. So we need to download this on SCCM server. So I'm gonna copy that, and let's go to SCCM PS. And on this server, we have to download the installer. So using that installer file, we will be able to install SCCM. So I'm gonna open run and put it here. So we are doing it on SCCM server, and click on download
Save.
and choose download anyway
Then
and save it. Clear? Vikash, Gurpreet,
Yeah,
you
it's
guys
clear.
following?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it got downloaded. Now I'm gonna click on open folder and close this website. Okay, so it got downloaded in this download folder. Let me just right click on this SCCM PS and do full screen. Now, first thing first, before you start installing this on SCCM server, we have to verify a couple of details. So let me just open command prompt here. Let me just right click on start and choose command prompt. And we have to find out a couple of details. Just verify, like type in host name, HOSTNAME. And make sure you are logged in on SCCM PS. So the name of the computer is SCCM PS. The second thing what you have to do is type in who am I, and make sure you are logged in with SCCM admin user lab/SCCM admin. Same thing what we did on database. Before installation of database, we verified the name of the computer, plus we verified whether we are logged in with lab/SQL admin or not. So similarly, we have verified the computer name and the username. Understood, everyone? In case if you are not logged in with this account, make sure you log off, log in back with this account. Now to install SCCM site on this, you see this is the installer, but that is in zipped format. We have to extract all the files. So let's go view file name extension. This is an exe file. So let's create one folder here called SCCM Installer. Okay, and inside this SCCM Installer folder, I'm going to extract all the files from the one which we downloaded. So this one we downloaded, right click on that and choose run as administrator and say yes. And you browse the folder which we just created. The folder is created inside download, and this is the one, SCCM Installer, and click OK and unzip. We are basically extracting all the files into this folder. All good, everyone?
Yes. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Suppose if we log in with administrator account, in SCCM PS, then also we will be able to install the SCCM or not?
You will be able to install, but we have to install with the domain account, not the with the administrator account. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. Now, so I'm gonna click on close. So what happened? We just downloaded the exe file, and then we extracted all the files inside this SCCM installer folder. And these are the files. I need to run this splash.hta. This is SCCM 1606. So we are doing SCCM 2016, and later on we will upgrade this to the latest version, so that you can also understand how to upgrade the SCCM from old version to the latest version. So let's click on install and say yes, and choose next. Now we have to install primary site. Okay, let me just show you my architecture first. How we are going to, what will be our architecture? So I'm gonna share my screen first. Okay, let me know when you see my screen, guys.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so our lab architecture will be, we already have one domain server. We already have one database server, and we already have SCCM PS,
Mhm.
right? We will
Yeah.
have one computer called Windows 10 later on, not now. And all of them are now connected with the same LAN network.
The internal.
Internal, right?
Mhm.
All of them are connected to the same LAN network. Now, what we are gonna do, we are making this server as a primary site server. Okay, this is gonna be our primary site. Why primary site? Because we don't have any branch offices. We have only one location wherein all our computers are located. Later on, I'll show you how to make this, how to install secondary site. That's the later part. But now we are going to install this as a primary site server. Now on this primary site server, we will be installing few roles. The role will be, we will be putting management point on that one. We will be putting distribution point role on that one. We will be putting software update point on that one. We will be installing application catalog website point on that one. We will be installing application catalog web service point on that one. We'll be installing SMS provider. We have already discussed about these roles. What are the functionalities of these roles, guys, in the second session. So on SCCM server, we will have management point, distribution point, software update point, application catalog website point, web service point, and SMS provider. Clear, everyone?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So let me just make you presenter again. Now we are going to install primary site server. So let's go. In case if you have to install central administration site, then you need to choose this option. In case if you are upgrading a site from 2012 to 2016, then you choose this option, the third one. If you have to recover a site, let's say there was a disaster and you are recovering a site, then you choose this option. Then in case if you have to reset the site or make any changes to the do factory reset and all, you choose this option and uninstall the last option. I'm going to choose the first option, install a config manager primary site. Okay, so you choose this checkbox when you have the database installed on the same server, but we don't have the database installed on the same server. That's the reason we don't have to check this box. Make sure you don't check this box, otherwise you will not be able to install it. Okay, next, we don't have license, so we'll go with the evaluation version. So let's choose the first option and then next. Now we have to accept the license terms and condition, and we'll go next. Now it needs to download SCCM updates from internet. So let's create one folder. Let's say SCCM updates. So I just created one folder on the desktop. SCCM updates. So we will be downloading updates inside this folder. Let's click on browse and choose SCCM updates and choose OK and go next. So it's gonna download the updates from internet into this folder. So it's downloading from Microsoft website. So basically it is downloading the language packs because Microsoft is releasing SCCM in multiple different languages. So suppose SCCM is available in 10 different languages today, tomorrow it can be available in 20 different languages. So Microsoft recommends that you download the latest language pack from Microsoft website before you install SCCM. So if you want to see the information, you see it is downloading language pack for client. This is Danish, this is Dutch, I think, and then this is French, this is Hungarian, Italian, Japanese. Yeah, what else?
Korea.
Korean. Then same thing, it downloads for server language. So client and server languages it downloaded. It also downloaded a couple of other application .NET framework. Also it downloaded SQL Express. Okay, so all those whatever related for SCCM installation, it downloaded from internet. So you see this is English language and not downloaded because it was already there, and that is installed. This is for server language. Server language will be English. In case if you would like to install SCCM in a different language, you need to choose that language. I'm gonna leave English. Next. Client language will also be English. I'm gonna leave that as it is. Next. Site code. Basically SCCM primary, secondary, a central administration site, all site are identified with a site code, unique 3-character site code. So you may choose like SEA, Southeast Asia, anything of your choice, PS1, P01. Okay. That's the site code. Now the name of the site, let's say South East Asia primary site. So we are installing Southeast Asia primary site. You can name it anything of your choice. You can give any site code, whatever it is. And we go. We are installing in C drive. In case in production, we normally install it in a different drive like D drive or E drive. But we are installing in C drive because we don't have any other drive. And the console will also get installed. We need the console to access SCCM. Next. Now we don't have any central administration site, so we'll choose this install a primary site as an standalone site. Let's go next. It's a warning message that in case if you would like to extend this, join it to a central administration site later on, you can also do that. So let's click on yes. Now it needs the database server name here because it has to store the data. We have to give the database name, database.lab.com. That's our database name. And you see this is CM means config manager, SEA is the site code we have chosen. That will be our database name. An instance is the default is MS SQL server, so we have to leave it blank. 4022 is the port number which we have already enabled on the database server using group policy. We don't have to do anything, just go next. Now these are the location for SQL Server data file, SQL Server log file. We'll leave that as it is. Next. SMS provider, as I showed you in the architecture, SMS provider will also be installed on the same server. So we leave the server name as it is. Next. All the communication between the server and the client will happen on HTTP connection for now. Okay. In case if you would like to secure the connection with HTTPS, then you need to have certificate. Normally we choose the first option when we have the computers communicating from outside, from internet. Okay, since all our computers are locally present on the local LAN network, I'm going to choose the second option. Configure the communication method on each side. Next. Management point will get installed on the same server. Distribution point will get installed on the same server. If you don't want to install, then you uncheck these boxes, or you can change the server name here. I'll go with the same default. Next. Next. And service connection point will also get installed on the same server. Let's do that. Next. And next. Now it's checking the prerequisite, whether we have completed all the tasks properly or not. If we have missed any prerequisite, then it's gonna give you a warning message or failure message. Then you will have to, take care of those failure and warning message. It will give a couple of warnings because our database server does not have recommended memory. Microsoft suggests that you need to have minimum 8 GB of RAM on database server, but we are using 3.5 GB of RAM. So we downloaded the SCCM installer, and then we need to take snapshot of SCCM and DB server after all prerequisite. So we will capture the current state of the computer so that in case if something goes wrong, we can come back to this snapshot again. You see, we have a couple of warning message, and warning message says that you don't have 8 GB of memory on the database server. Understood, guys?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's okay. If you wanna, we can also resolve this warning, but that's okay. I'm gonna go with this warning. But before we go ahead and click on begin install, right? What we are gonna do is we will take the snapshot of SCCM and database server because we have done a lot of prerequisite. And in case if something goes wrong, then we can come back to that snapshot again. So to take a snapshot of any computer, you go to disk, and we take the snapshot of the hard drive. So I'm going to take the snapshot of database hard drive. So click on database and choose create snapshot and name it as, let's say we type in DB underscore and after all prerequisite. We completed all the prerequisite, right?
Yeah.
After installing all prerequisite. Okay, so we have you may name it anything of your choice, and we have to give it on the same resource group rg_ Southeast Asia, and click on create. Similarly, we have to go back to the disk again and take the snapshot of SCCM hard drive. Click on SCCM PS and choose snapshot, create snapshot, and type in SCCM PS after installing all prerequisite, and then put it on the same resource group and choose create. Are you guys following? Why do we need snapshot, guys? What is the benefit of a snapshot?
To know what you have done.
To capture the current state of the computer.
Yeah.
So that while doing the installation of SCCM, in case something goes wrong, we don't have to rebuild the server. We can just use this snapshot to come back to this stage, to revert back, right? Gurpreet has just answered to revert back on this page again. So if you would like to see the snapshot, you go to snapshot and you see both the snapshots are taken successfully, and it has the date and time when the snapshot was created. Okay guys, we are done with all the settings and the prerequisite. Now the final step is start installing SCCM primary site. So we have to go back to this one and choose begin install, and that's it. You leave it as it is for at least 1.5 hours from now. What time you go to bed, James?
I usually I will wait. Usually I go at midnight.
Okay, so if you
But
are
I'll wait
going
for it. I'll wait for it to finish.
no, don't wait. If you are going to bed now, that's okay. You can first what you do when you get up in the morning, then
Okay.
you come back to this Azure portal
Okay.
and then stop all these computers. You check
Okay.
all these boxes and
Then
then stop.
Okay.
Don't stop now. You don't have to stop any of the server now, because if you stop, the installation will fail. Installation will fail. So in the morning you come back, or if you can, if you are not going to bed now and going to bed after like 1.5 hours or 2 hours from now, so you just verify the installation. Once it says installation complete and it has a close option here, then go ahead and stop all the computers. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going because I've taken some my medicine for sleep.
Okay, so you go to sleep. You don't wait for this to get completed. You do it in the morning. In the morning, you stop all these computers.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay, guys. So we have completed all the steps and installed SCCM primary site server. So let me just share my screen, and we'll take you to this diagram. So I missed to add one more point here. We will install software update point later on. This one later on. This one later on. We have already started installation of SMS provider a management point, distribution point, and there was one more, that is a service connection point.
Oh.
So this is done, you know, those which are during installation. We have chosen these options: SMS provider to install on SCCM PS, management point to install on SCCM PS, distribution point, and service connection point. These are 4 roles we have. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, software update point, application catalog, website point, web service point, these are later on. We will install them later on once the SCCM server is ready. Okay?
Okay.
Any question, guys? Anyone? Gurpreet, Vikash, James?
We're good.
Okay, so these are the steps. First, we install Wsus, then we enable Wsus service, then we created a container in Active Directory, then we have given SCCM server full control on that container. We extended the schema of Active Directory, then we downloaded SCCM Installer, we took the snapshot, and then we started installing SCCM primary site. I hope you guys understood the concept so far.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, guys, so I want everyone to do the same step what we have done, Gurpreet and Vikash, and make sure you guys are ready with the installation by tomorrow. And from tomorrow onwards, we have to start working on SCCM. So far what we did, we have done the installation. Normally you don't have to do all these tasks, because when you go to any company, by default you will get SCCM ready.
Okay.
Understood?
Okay.
So from tomorrow, if you have not understood a couple of things, that's okay so far, but from tomorrow onwards you have to understand each and every point, because from tomorrow it will be completely on SCCM. So far we were doing SCCM prerequisite and installation.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you
guys,
very much.
thank you everyone. Thank you for
We
joining the
appreciate
session. I hope the session was informative.
it.
We'll meet again.
Thank you.
Same
Have a good
tomorrow.
day.
You too, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.